SAFC Fan TV, Umar. Not the start to League One we wanted this season, but to be honest, the way we played in that game will settle for a point, to be honest. I mean, creativity, we just look so bad today, especially just getting the service to the forward line.
Yeah. When, my game score, the thing is, I said it will be 1-1. And look at it right now, that has finished 1-1. And first half, we were poor. We were terrible.
Shocking. Yeah.
Woeful crap. And for me, there are so many things that we could have done in that first half. Yeah. But that's just us, Sunderland. We like to bottle things, don't we?
Yeah. What were we missing though? I felt, to be honest, that early penalty just knocked our confidence completely. It shocked all the players, and we just couldn't get our rhythm going, particularly in the midfield department.
For me, we just didn't. There was no fight for the ball. We just looked well off the pace, full off the pace, and that was just us, Sunderland. We just fought in the first half.
It's just, I mean, second half was a little bit better, but I don't remember us stringing at least 5 passes together in that first. It was just absolutely abysmal, but we did well to get back into the game. But you look at Phil Parkinson again, making I know he brought Graham on slightly earlier, but he brought, to be honest, Lyndon Gooch and Charlie Wyke on too late. And that's the second. He done that in the whole game, and he's done it once again. It was like, he hasn't really changed much in terms of his tactics from last season.
For me, he should have put a sub on 40th minute, 35th minute, because we were so bad in that first half. We didn't even create one chance.
Other than that Hume shot that got tipped over the bar, but other than that, yeah, Paul.
Yeah, other than that, we were just poor. And then when he went 4-4-2, we started to look more better.
Yeah.
The Yumi we've talked about, is it 3-4-3 good, or is it 4-4-2 good? For me, I think that we should get 4-4-2, because that we look more better with 4-4-2.
Yeah, exactly. And to be honest, Denver Hume, I thought, to be fair, he tried his best today. Every time he got the ball, he wanted to run at their back line, but he's the only one really in that team today that showed desire to cross the ball. I mean, Maguire just looked in the wrong areas, and when you play him in behind the strikers, he can cause damage, like the goal he scored today, just finding that space outside the box. But Phil Parkinson, he plays Maguire too out wide for me.
Yes, for me, Hume, he was the worst player on the pitch for me.
You reckon?
For me, Hume was really bad. His crossing, that he can't cross to save his life.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I know at least Hume tried to put a few good balls in, but to be honest, I thought Dobson in the middle of the park, how many times did he give the ball away? I mean, I know he showed a bit of passion towards the end, trying to win that tackle, which, to be fair, I'll put this out to you now, which was a shocking decision. How on earth was that a straight red? I will never know in a million years. I mean, I'll be very surprised if we don't appeal that one. But our midfield play, particularly in the middle, at the moment, we're just lacking.
For me, Power. What did Power do in this game? I just don't like him as a player. I think Scowen, where was Scowen today? Why is Scowen not playing? Why is not Dan Neil playing? For me, that is all on Phil's fault. And now, what can we do? This is us. We never start well in the first game. First game of the season, we always flop. For me, what I think is we will finish 7th or 8th. That's what I think.
SAFC Fan TV, Zoe. Poor start to the season once again. Another 1-1 draw on the opening day.
Yeah, it was a little bit disappointing in general. It looked like it was hoof the long ball, like it was last season. We didn't look much better than what we did last season. There was promising moments. I mean, 5 shots and only 7 or 8 of them was on target, but that is an improvement from last season. But it's that final finishing product that we struggling with yet again.
Yeah, we're just lacking so much creativity in the middle of the park. But like you touched on, the hoofball, it's not working, and we tried that so much in the first half, and it was just getting really frustrating. And even we brought on Danny Graham in the second half, it feels like we were doing the same, and we weren't like doing enough creativity through the middle. And when we did, we ended up getting the goal from Maguire.
It's always left down to Maguire or someone like that. Like the strikers, pre-season looked a little bit promising. Tuesday night looked a little bit promising. I know it was a little bit of a different team at Tuesday night, but it's still disappointing. I know it was under 21s, but it's still, you'd think it would give them a bit of a confidence boost to go out today. It didn't look very impressive, to be honest. Like I say, there was good moments. I think we need to try the two up front. When Graham and Wyke were on together, it looked a little bit better. But we just need a little bit of creativity to get that final touch, really.
Yeah, and once again, Wyke didn't come on until the final 10 minutes. It's just still the same with Parkinson, like he was last season, not making his best substitutions until the final 15 minutes.
Well, this is it, isn't it? You're not really giving them time to get into the game. Got to start doing it at least 60, 65 minutes. Gives them a chance to get into the game. But if he's not willing to do that, it's another mistake that he hasn't learned from, and something that we're going to end up losing out in again in the long run come the end of the season.
I mean, with the team we put out today, Zoe, what changes would you make going into that Oxford game next week? Personally, I think Dobson had a very poor day, although he's going to be suspended for first half, just like the amount of misplaced passes he gave away. He didn't really show that heart and desire until the final 10 minutes, which he got caught in the occasion and made a really bad 2-foot. I mean, it definitely wasn't a red card, but you can tell from where the referee stood and how he went in for the challenge. You knew it was going to be a red straight away. But we do need to shake up the team, particularly in the middle of the park. I mean, Scowen for me has to come in now.
Yeah, I totally agree. I don't know what Scowen's done wrong or what Dobson is doing. Like, I don't dislike Dobson, but I do think Scowen is a better player, an alternative to put in. Hopefully he'll come out next Saturday given the chance, and he will prove why he needs to start in front of Dobson. Sending off, I do think their player's reaction was a lot to do with that. I don't think if he reacted the way that I did, and the way that their players crowded the referee, I don't think that would have been enough. But then Bailey Wright should have walked for that tackle. So I think it was a little bit... We were lucky to get as far as we did with what Wright did. Referee went straight for his pocket for that yellow, and then obviously went against it when he realised he'd already booked him. That could have been a massive turning point in the game for us, which could have ended up in a defeat. But they time wasted a lot as well, hence to the 8 minutes.
Massively, spent most of the time on the floor second half, I felt.
What they did last season, but Wickham did last season. There was a lot of teams did it last season. Until the referees stamp it out, then they're just going to keep doing it.
Yeah, but we need to take advantage of that though, and like do a lot more to break that down. And we seem like we haven't learned our lessons at all.
Well, we're never going to learn our lesson, really, are we? We just, like you say, a good pre-season. You think it would have give them a bit of a confidence boost, and they've gone out today how they ended last season, really, and it doesn't look like an improvement. They've had 6 months off. You'd think they would be back to try and prove themselves a little bit more, show the fans that they are wanting promotion this season, that they're willing to give it them all, and it hasn't gone that way. And once again, we left disappointed, and it's where do we go from here? We have to be better than the teams. We have to score goals, and if we're not going to score these goals and win games, then it's another season that we're going to struggle to go up again.
Jacob Kirkbride, SAFC Fan TV. Carl, it makes you wonder, does that result on Tuesday night where everyone was massively confident going into this game, does that more or less paper over the cracks, to be honest? I mean, just going forward, like that performance was just so poor today. Just overall, it's just a massive kick in the teeth, considering how much the fans were looking forward to this game.
Like Jacob, like I say, it's like, oh yeah, right. So I've not seen the match to be there. I've been at work, but what I've seen, Sunderland was shocking, and like we were playing off the park off them. Like, obviously, we had a sloppy penalty. Well, I've been reading about the analyse and stuff like that. It's like I think they panic a bit too much. You know what I mean? It's like, why panic? We've got a whole season ahead of us now. Why in that situation panic about things? There's nothing to panic about. First game of the season, pre-season was good. So why they're getting a bit up height now? You know what I mean? It's like, I think since all these new players come in up a height and they don't know what to do, you know, it's going to be the same story if we would go and pull our acts together. We could have been now, like in the championship last season, if we didn't get beat off them last year. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean it's all if buts and maybes. To be honest, I mean we can look back on that and say, yeah, we didn't deserve to go up based on like the recent performances, but towards the back end of last season. But we still had 8 games left to play. But Phil Parkinson, in the long run, it's just he still has a lot to learn, doesn't he? Otherwise, the job is going to be massively tough for him this season.
It is going to be very, very tough, mate. I swear down, because like you look at the past previous managers we've had, people fight, but Parkinson, no offense to Parkinson, but he doesn't have that edge where he wants to fight. Which every Sunderland fan knows. Yeah, we'll get player. I think the reason why they brought Parkinson because it was cheap. Like I watched a video a while ago when they mentioned that. But because it was a cheap deal to get someone cheap and that's going to run the club, what can you do? You know, it's like worrying times. Yeah, it might be our first game, or might have struggled a bit a day, but you've got to bite your lip and get on with it. You know what I mean, mate?
Yeah, I mean, where we've still got the window open, thank God. Normally, we'd just for the first game of the season. Normally, our squad would usually be in place, but we never seem prepared, and that's been the case for the past 3 or 4 years. But what sort of players do you think he needs to bring in? Like, what are we missing at the moment?
I think what we're missing, Jake, right? I think we're missing someone that's going to be attacking midfielder, get the ball to the strikers, forwards and stuff. Wingers, we need good, pacey wingers. We need decent defence. That is going to prove that we're not going to bottle this league, you know what I mean? Because in the day, if you, like, say the Stadium was out fans today and they want to fight, there's not been no crowd for a while. I've been at games for like the past, before lockdown and stuff like that. And when it was fighting crowd and cheering, stuff like that, it's not the same when we went into League One.
No.
But we need someone to get that kick up the arse, you know what I mean? That's what you need.
Yeah. The reality is though, say if we do go on a good run, especially at the Stadium of Light, that will just look poor on the reflection of the players, the fact that you're doing it without the fans there. It's almost like when they do come back, you have to like put in the same amount of effort and the same amount of performances, because then it'll just look poor on your behalf.
Exactly, that's what I was trying to say. And like, if I was a player, you want people to lift you, go on, you know, you just want that fight, you know what I mean? The fans are the third person in the game. But you got to bite and fight. And like when I used to play football when I was younger, and you get your mum and your dad going, go on, just shoot, you know what I mean? That's what you want. Just take a shot from anywhere instead of fanning about, you know?